Hello and welcome to this video in which I'm going to introduce to you my 2025 block of the month, and that is Whimsical windows. So I'm really excited to share this with you today, and I really hope that you like the concept and that you really like the first design because January's is ready. So first of all, the idea behind Whimsical windows, it's very much inspired by the childhood books that I absolutely love. So of course, things like Beatrix Potter books and also the Brambley Hedge books by Jill Barklam. They are a firm favourite of mine, and both of those things have very much inspired my designs for this block of the month. Also my love of nature and wildlife and of British nature. You'll see a lot of that throughout the months, as well as each block of the month is seasonal. The idea behind it is that each block is a little picture, a little window, either from inside a little woodland creature's home looking out into the British countryside, or on the outside looking into a little woodland creature's home. So we're going to use our imagination there and just thinking about maybe the little mice and their homes, or maybe Mrs. Tiggywinkle in Beatrix Potter. So it's very much inspired by that theme of either looking out into the countryside from inside their burrows or looking inside. And the first month we are inside a little creature's home, and we are looking out into the winter countryside, a winter landscape. So we have on the inside, we have some things to reflect being inside that creature's home. So we have a little candlestick, a little picture on the wall, and also a bookcase there. And then we are looking through their window, and their window is shaped as an oval shape, and we're looking out into the countryside where the moon is rising. We've got snow on the trees and a little cottage amongst the rolling hills. So the picture is about 13.5 by 9 roughly inches, and backed in the quilt as you go method, and the techniques used to create it are embroidery, a bit of EPP for the house, and applique, hand stitching, hand quilting. So that's the first one, and I'm really excited for the next one, which will be February, and I'll show you that in February, but it will be the other way around. In February we will be outside and we'll be looking in, so it will be a different shaped window, but the idea is that when we're outside, we'll see some things around the edge that replicate the outside, and then we'll see a scene of inside a woodland creature's home through the window. So each time there is a foreground and a background element to the quilt, and it's double layered, and the instructions detail how you do that and how you get this nice finish for turning the edge of your window under. And each time there'll be different design, different shaped window, and a different design on the outside and the inside depending on where we are. So, if we are outside, we might see more nature, more plants and trees and flowers along the outside, and then inside we'll have that cosy scene of inside the little creature's house. So the instructions every month come as some printable downloads, PDF downloads. They come in 2 sizes, one for A4, one for the US letter, so you can just download them and print them off. And you also get really detailed video lessons in which I go through everything and tell you how to stitch the different elements. But the beauty of the design is that you can choose whether you want to do embroidery or applique. You can mix and match. It's really up to you. I just give you a suggestion. I give you a suggestion for colours. I give you a suggestion for stitches and techniques, but you can mix it up and really personalise it and make it your own. So I really hope that you like that idea. The videos are really detailed. I sat down and I made it in front of a camera so that you could see a lot of what I did And so hopefully that will really help you if you are new to this type of stitching, if maybe you haven't done as much embroidery, because I really want these block of the month pictures to be skill building. So as we go through the year, we'll try different stitches out and I take you through it all. It's really like coming to a workshop when you buy this pattern, because you don't just get given some PDFs and that's it. You get the video lessons of me talking to you and helping you through it. So there are two ways to access the pattern. You can either purchase it in my Pay Hit pattern shop, where my patterns have always been for sale, or you can get access to it through being a member of my Jewel Flower tier on Patreon. Now, the best value place to get this is Patreon, and Patreon is a monthly subscription, but you can cancel at any time, so you're not trapped into anything. And you'll get the best value if you were to join Patreon, because not only do you get access to the pattern every month, but you also get access to the other content that I put on there. So I put my 2 YouTube videos on there ad-free, and I put them up earlier than they come up on YouTube. There's also an extra video that never goes on YouTube. There's one of those every month on the Jewel Flower tier. And as an extra bonus surprise for everybody on the Jewel Flower tier on Patreon, there will be 3 bonus patterns that will be linked to this block of the month that will come out throughout the year at surprise times. And I'm really excited about those patterns. They are EPP patterns, because we don't have a lot of EPP in the monthly patterns. So if you're missing a bit of EPP, those 3 surprise patterns will be EPP. 2 of them are quite 3D, and they're really, really fun, and they're very much linked to the Bramley Hedge stories and the Beatrix Potter stories. They're inspired by things within those illustrations, so that's a little clue. And those 3 patterns are exclusive to Patreon throughout 2025, so they won't be released separately to purchase. They're just to say a big thank you to those of you who are supporting me on Patreon. So they'll just be there for 2025. You won't be able to get them anywhere else throughout this year. And yeah, so if you did want to come and join Patreon, it would be really lovely, and that is definitely the place where you get the best value. You can buy the patterns for the block of the month, just the 12 patterns, as they are available throughout the year on PayHip, but you won't get those 3 bonuses. So yeah, just to let you know about that. And the other thing that I will have for sale each month are fabric panels. So when I made mine, I designed 2 fabric panels, one for, I'm calling it the foreground, so the one that goes on top, and one for the background. And I've designed them and had them printed and made. Now it's not going to show up very well on the camera because I've got a light shining on me. And I designed them, they're cotton, 100% cotton, and I designed them with the outlines for the stitcheries in a very pale grey, so that you can stitch over them really easily and the lines won't show through afterwards. And this is the background panel. So they're 100% cotton, they are washable, although I think after you've embroidered and appliqued these pieces, you probably wouldn't want to be washing them. You can spot clean them, but they will go in the wash. And if you buy the fabric panels, you also get a piece of hexiform, because that is what supports the top layer to help it turn under and get this really nice shape and nice structure. However, the fabric panels are not a necessity for creating this design. When you purchase the pattern or you access it through Patreon, however you access it, you can trace the design onto your fabric and then work on it yourself, and I give you instructions for doing that. So please don't think you have to buy the fabric panels. They're just there for if you want to. They make it easier, but they're not a complete necessity. You can do it either way. It's a bit like last year when I had hexiform packs for the Flower of the Month blocks. You could create them without the hexiform pack, or with it if you wanted it to be a bit easier and a bit quicker. So that's why I've designed it that way. But like I say, everything is there, so it shows you how to do it without the fabric panel if that's what you prefer, and that's totally fine. I want it to be accessible to anyone who wants to join in with it. So when I design these block of the month patterns, I am always thinking about using items from your stash. So it was the same with the flower blocks. None of it requires a huge amount of fabric, really. You need a piece of wadding. Even if you buy the fabric pack, which comes with the 2 panels and the hexiform, you still need to add some wadding to the back and a backing piece of fabric you'll need. But if you look at the design, you just need small scraps for most of it. And for the embroidery threads as well, I'm hoping to have some packs available of some like starter packs with a variety of colours in to get you going if you don't have a stash of embroidery threads. But there's nothing specific really that you need, you know, shades of brown, shades of green, and then you can really make it in any colours that you want. So none of the designs are going to use lots and lots of thread, so just having the odd skein of a colour will be absolutely fine to get you through the whole year. You know, I've used a dark brown in a couple of places on this, and I wouldn't expect to use a whole skein of that throughout the whole year, even though brown will be coming up in lots of the designs because they are woodland and nature themed, so that's a colour that naturally comes up there. But yeah, I wouldn't expect to use a whole skein because of course we split the strands and use 2 or 3 at a time, so 1 skein of embroidery thread does go a long way. So I don't think you need to go out and buy lots and lots of things. I think, you know, fabric scraps that you have will work really well for this. And like I say, I'll try and have a starter pack of threads. Because of Christmas and the break, I haven't been able to organise that, but hopefully soon I'll have that on my website. So anyone who hasn't got a stash of embroidery thread will have some colours to get them started. And this is definitely suitable if you're a beginner because I walk you through everything step by step in the instructions, very detailed videos, and yeah, you can definitely make this. And as I said, it's skill building, so each month we'll have something new, a new shape, a new stitch, and you'll be amazed how much you learn as you work through these patterns. What somebody said to me about the flower of the month blocks, and this meant the most to me, this comment. She said she'd absolutely loved doing them and she was amazed at how much her sewing had improved throughout the year from making them, and that really means so much because that's sort of the aim, isn't it? To enjoy them and to be learning and progressing as well. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'll leave links below to where you can sign up to Patreon. If you're not watching this on Patreon, I'll leave a link below. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in lesson 1, January, of Whimsical Windows. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.